It is Monday, January 27th. A few minutes before 9 a.m., the market's opened up. DeepSeek has rocked the technological side of things. Right now, Tesla is back above 400. I don't know. I don't know what to make of what China has unleashed as an open source model here. So what it took for them to make that and all that other stuff. I mean, I can't wait to get into spaces. I want to say Dallas has a space today at about noon Central Time. At least I hope he does. That's why we're out on the roads. I want to go ahead and get some 610 inner loop testing, homework, take 3, and then maybe get back in time in order to tune in. If not, I'm pretty sure his space is recorded, but if you're not following Dallas Tesla Club on X, he's a good follow. Very smart, bright individual, hosts some great spaces. But yeah, I'm sure that's going to be the talk of most X spaces today. DeepSeek and how it is disrupting, whether or not we need all these chips. They're doing it with more efficiency, less capital maybe. Who knows? Nobody knows, right? We need more information, but it definitely has the investment world turned on its head. Enough of that, though. We still are waiting for our AI student driver to get one of these updates. I want to say they're on version 13.2.2.1 now. I guess 13.2.5 may have had some hiccups here and there, which is fine. Before we get it, I'd like it to be as smooth as humanly possible. Definitely don't want a regression after experiencing what I've already experienced. So, I'm definitely a lot more patient now that I have this model. Back when we were in like 12.5.x or something, I was like, hey man, can I get 13? And I'll be more than likely in a similar boat if we go to 14, right? I'd be like, hey, I'd like to experience, and that's like the 3x, right? I could see them if the model is so good, once they unlock 3x more capacity for the AI chip, they just be like, well, this is 14 now, ladies and gentlemen. So, but right now, 13.2.5, we're on 13.2.2.1. I'm sure it's better, but I mean, how much better can it truly get, right? We're gonna have to see some of those major breakthroughs that they have in the upcoming section for us to really notice a significant difference, I'd imagine. But either way, still waiting anxiously to get that update. But before we do, I wanted to go out there and get some inner loop testing with the Grok addresses. I know I've said I've been trying to get out here, but ladies and gentlemen, this is truly out of the way for me. I don't traverse the 610 inner loop. I like to stay in my hole. You see it's raining outside. It's not a very pleasant, it's what? I don't know. I'll take the vitamin D later. It's a little over 50 degrees, wet outside, but these conditions, we got to get some more testing. Obviously, the more data, the better the software will perform. I'm under that notion. So, and plus, I've exhausted all of my FSD videos. I need to get out here more. That's what we bought Stygian 2.0 for, was to get out here and make sure our Tesla investment is sound. And every time I get in Stygian 2.0 and we engage our AI student driver, it makes me want to purchase more Tesla stock. Because, I mean, if we look around, the vehicles on the road, I haven't even noticed a Tesla. How about that? I haven't noticed a Tesla since we've gotten started. And even the Teslas that we do see, more than likely won't have FSD engaged. And that is something that is going to change as our AI student driver improves. And being one of the first to experience it, especially here in Southeast Texas, it feels like I have a secret that shouldn't be a secret. That's why I'm posting it on YouTube. I'm posting it on X. We are currently still in chill mode. which again, I don't have a destination in mind. I just wanted to drive safely. You know, if I put this in hurry, we would obviously pass this Jeep that is, you know, meandering in this lane, but you know, the speed limit is 45. We probably shouldn't be going this slow, but it is wet conditions. You know, I'm just letting our AI student driver get me to where I need to be, which I think I plugged in 728 Tirrell Street. That's the first problem area I want to kind of tackle. Make sure we hit that that long left turn lane. So after we get there, we will maybe change out the camera and get to our next destination. We got about 5 stops after that, and then head our happy ass back to Katy, Texas, you know, and see how much of this can be zero intervention. How comfortable is it, especially in these conditions? You know, that's what we're here for. That was a very late turn signal from that vehicle. They were rushing to get into that lane for some reason, maybe because there was impatience. Either way, our AI student driver handles it pretty nicely. But yeah, spent a lot of time in Bremerton, Washington, so that's what this weather feels like to me. Cold, dreary. Definitely whether you want to be wrapped up in a blanket watching Jim Cramer freak out about DeepSeek being on his computer. I love CNBC's Faber and those guys. They are hilarious to me, and it's informative. You get to see how the markets are reacting, what the financial news media is saying and thinking, bond markets, macro stuff. I'm a fan. So a sneeze is coming. There it goes. All right, we're not coming down with anything. Just sometimes I want to say hair, you know, like just little things, debris, dust. All right, we enter here. I still have to. I need to call the easy tag to make sure to make sure I put this vehicle on my my account. So we're still gonna go tollless. We're gonna just keep it public roads for now. Well, let's go ahead and talk about it. I think the Houston Texans are going to have lost to the Super Bowl champs yet again. I believe Patrick Mahomes and those individuals will three-peat, something never before seen on the NFL stage, and rightfully so. Andy Reid is a diabolical genius when it comes to understanding his opponent, what they can and can't do, and then he's got some of the best players. You know, they're going to be nominated for so many awards. Maybe not as many as the Eagles, which is something to take into account. I don't think it'll be a blowout by any means, but that winning pedigree from the Kansas City Chiefs, you know, you got probably going to be arguably one of the best coaches to ever, there's a Tesla, to ever grace the gridiron in Andy Reid. I mean, just a winner through and through. You give that guy, Patrick Mahomes, a leader first and foremost, but his understanding of the game, obviously their work ethic, it's a testament for them to win so many close games, to always feel like they're in it. It's a testament to their practice and, you know, their work ethic. So much love for Kansas City. I mean, I'm a little bitter because I'd like my team to look like they're performing effortlessly, like it's breathing. That's what it looks like watching the Kansas City Chiefs in high pressure situations on the field. It just looks effortless for them to overcome challenges. And they all believe, from the center on to Patrick Mahomes, from every wide receiver to tight end and backfield. Everybody believes that they're going to accomplish their goals, and that's what we saw in New England, right? Under the guide of Bill Belichick and the on-field leadership of Tom Brady, it's crazy that it happened almost simultaneous, like a simultaneous handoff from Tom Brady to Patrick Mahomes. It's kind of crazy. But anyway, that's my prediction. Let's go deep with it. I don't know if they'll hit the over-under. I know the Chiefs are the favorite, but after Philly put up a 55 point, 30 point spread on the Washington Commanders, who came in there ready to play, playing some of their best football, and for Philly to just put up 55, that's insane. The Washington Commanders defense isn't atrocious by any means. Bobby Wagner had those boys in tip-top shape. That defensive line looked great. So Philly just was, and that offensive line is battered. Jalen Hurts has a bum knee, so to speak. This is going to be a really good game that I think the Chiefs are just going to come out on top. But I'm already looking for next season, seeing where these potential draft picks of the Houston Texans could go. What does it look like in free agency? I've got some requests. If people become available, maybe some trading opportunities. But that's just, I'm an armchair GM right now, thinking about the possibilities. We let go of the offensive coordinator, Bobby Slowick. I don't care who we fill that slot with, as long as that offense looks like it's humming. Get those guys believing in the process. And I want it to just feel like it's effortless, like breathing when they're out there in high-pressure situations. When things go bad, they don't stay bad. They rectify those, okay. These are hopes and aspirations. The Texans window is pretty open, right? Got a lot of young, inexpensive talent on the roster. We got to make the best of this situation right now. So, whew. I've gotten a little tangent, a little NFL tangent, as we get caught in this line again. So, we'll be monitoring our camera. Like I said, it's about an hour before they tend to overheat and, run out of juice. But we just want to make sure that every time we get in the vehicle, every time that our AI student driver has control of the car, that it's going smooth. I don't expect it to be perfect. I just want it to be better than me. I just want, if there's a choice between Yosh-chan and I driving, more than likely she's going to drive, because it gives us the better chance to reach our destination without an accident. That's just the truth of the matter. And if this thing can do what we do naturally, in our household, the best driver will drive. If that becomes ubiquitous, and not just in my household, but households all over the country, right? The best driver should drive. And that's what I want our AI student driver to be. The best driver in my house. Right now, it's a neck and neck race between Yosh and our AI student driver. But I'm telling you right now, folks, it won't be long before, there are disengagements. There's comfort issues, but the same can be said for Yosh, right? Where I want to fucking take over because she's driving like a crazy person. Whether she's distracted from work or, she's got a lot on her mind, she might be a little tired. There are moments when I'm like, hey, what's going on? Right? She's not perfect. I need it's about what and what right now between the AI student driver and her. And that says something, because she's not a bad driver. I am a bad driver, and this thing is much better than me in over 99% of scenarios. There is no doubt, if I'm in the car, in the driver's seat, I am not driving, ladies and gents. It's almost guaranteed. But with her, you know, she sees things. She wants to take charge. She doesn't like to relinquish control, which is perfectly fine. But in our household, the best driver will ultimately drive. She just thinks she's still better, which, you know, I'd say it's a coin toss given the particular day and scenario. So pretty soon it won't be a coin toss. It'll be more of a 70-30 type thing than an 80-20 type thing. You get my drift? Yeah, you get it. Right now it's 99% better than me in most scenarios. But that's because I'm a shit driver. But, you know, I would say most of the people that have their license are shit drivers. I experience it every time I'm out here. Shit drivers. All right, so we got some congestion as we're coming in on I-10, headed eastbound so that we can get to the 610 inner loop. This is a turn right, get off the highway type lane. We do need to get over to the left. We've got our turn signal on. It seems like the people behind us have interpreted that as we would like to not be in the exiting lane. We're here now. So we're on chill. I want to kind of see how the chill behavior is on the highway. Are we just going to stay in this most right-handed lane, or are we going to, you know, find some open space over there to the left? But it looks like chill might not be my highway setting. So we're going to give it a few minutes and see how it performs before we make judgment. Alright, so we're not in the most right lane, which is basically a declaration that you intend not to be on the highway very long. To me, that's the only people that should be over there that plan to exit relatively soon. And we don't. I mean, we're gonna go more than 10 miles down here on I-10. So, and this lane, the lane to the left, whatever keeps us going the closest to the speed limit is what I want to be in. And let's see how it performs. Decided to get out from behind this 18-wheeler. This lane that we were in just seemed to be filled with commercial type vehicles and going, for whatever reason, about 15 miles an hour under the speed limit. It took its time before it decided to get out from behind the vehicle, but it ultimately did. So traffic pretty consistent here on this Monday morning, about 9 a.m. in Southeast Texas, Houston, Texas, to be more specific. About 20 minutes in, our AI student driver has done everything from pulling me out of the garage to getting us to this point. It's so consistent now that I would be surprised should our AI student driver find itself in a situation that it couldn't get itself out of. So, but it's still early, and once we get down in the inner loop, I'm sure we're going to encounter some scenarios and situations that we just aren't privy in our typical daily commutes in Stygian 2.0. Given the traffic, even if we weren't on chill, say we're on standard or even hurry, there's not a whole lot we can do. I guess we could dart in and out of these lanes and try to make the best of a clogged situation. But again, we're not in any rush. We're not late for an appointment. We're just going downtown. Well, not even downtown technically, maybe a little bit, but just going in that inner 610 loop area. Getting an idea, you know, the first two homework scenarios were a little less structured. Regardless of the intersections that were, you know, I think the entire area, that Kirby, Allen Parkway, all that stuff, you know, that entire area is worth taking a look at. So I've got some general, again, emphasis on general, areas that I want to traverse. Whether or not we hit those intersections or not, but that'll be a goal, is to making sure that we hit some of these convoluted intersections, but making sure we can get from point A to point B. We'll also do more drives where we are already starting in the 610 inner loop, and we're just going to drop pins, you know, as if we were a robo-taxi. So instead of getting into the far left lane, the fast lane, we've migrated over back to the right. And, you know, this is perfectly fine. We just want to be in a lane that's moving with the flow of traffic a little better than most. And if we're avoiding that far left lane, it's probably a smoother situation for everybody involved on I-10. If, you know, we're not intending to, you know, just exceed the speed limit for, you know, keeping up with the flow of traffic's sake, we need to stay away from that far left lane. When we get back to the house, we might go and see if there's some Model Ys in some of these areas. I do kind of want to look at it, and I'm pretty sure some of these showrooms here in Houston have the Model Y showcased. Be nice to take a look. Again, we're not gonna buy it. The wife is absolutely satisfied with her Model X. You know, the 3 and Y, they are fantastic vehicles. But once you've experienced a luxury brand vehicle, there's nothing like it. There really is nothing like it. And you would think, oh, they're more expensive. How different could they possibly be? They are absolutely the best that Tesla has to offer. And technology is the greatest luxury. And they put oodles of tech in there that make it feel so intuitive. And you're like, yeah. So coming back to the Model 3 after driving the Model X, sharing the Model X with Yosh-chan, Panda is the bee's knees for us. It is absolutely, you know, I can only imagine the Cybertruck has even more technology in it. So that is the best Tesla. You know, steer-by-wire, 48-volt architecture, I imagine it has the same comfortability that the Model X provides, and it just feels like you're on top of the world. So yeah, the Model X is probably not as good as the Cybertruck, with the exception of those falcon wing doors. Yes, I am very superficial in that regard. Passing people on the right. Look at our AI student driver in chill mode saying you guys are even more chill than we need to be. Passing folks on the right. Get on with your bad self, AI student driver. So, yeah, the Cybertruck is now the new dream car. I'd love to own one. Like, I don't find them unattractive in the slightest. I'd be more apt to wrap it in something. I mean, I'm a big fan of black, right? I like stitching. You know, I don't know. Or I would leave it the same and have it in its natural color. But if I wrap it, I don't know, I'd want to wrap it in something truly unique. Something that would identify my Cybertruck in a crowd of thousands. So I'd probably go something super custom. Depending on what I would name the Cybertruck would be probably indicative of that custom wrap. As far as names go, Steelix seems to be the most apt thing to name it. Mecha Godzilla seems a little long. With a, you know, that thing's a fucking tank. And it's the dream car. Maybe when the finances get better after we finish paying off Panda, it might be in the cards. We'll see. Payoff Stitching 2.0. I don't plan to sell these vehicles unless, you know, I absolutely have to. Who knows? Something like a AI hardware upgrade might be something that would push me to sell these hardware 4 cars, but I doubt it. I have a feeling that our hardware 4 is going to be more than enough to achieve unsupervised FSD. So I see no reason to let these cars go, as they last longer than internal combustion engine cars. So throughout the life of an internal combustion engine car versus, let's just say, these Teslas, there will be significantly less maintenance. The longest we've had an EV was a little over 50,000 miles. I want to say that was the Model Y that we traded in. Right now, the Model X, considering we were sharing it for a little while, has over 20,000 miles on it, and it's barely been a year. So, who knows? Who knows how long we've got in our batteries, depending on usage and things of that nature, but I'm not too terribly concerned. I kind of want to rack up more miles on both of these vehicles just to see what we're working with as in terms of longevity. And as we progress through the years, battery technology is going to get, I don't want to say significantly cheaper, but it will be noticeably cheaper 5 years from now. Let's just say that. On top of purchasing Cybertrucks as dream cars, goodness gracious, just using our battery electric vehicles as potential power walls, backup power for homes, and maybe even potential money makers when it comes to supporting the grid. Imagine being able to not only power share, but power share back to the grid for profit. These are the things I think about. These are the things that made me want to get solar panels and power walls for the home. Not only the security that it provides, the independence from the grid that it provides, the potential revenue gain here in the great state of Texas is always present. We got some got some. I think we got a ways to go when it comes to Tesla Energy, our energy provider. But I imagine they've got some deals with the state that you know allows for the VPP to function, right? But I would just love controlling my power walls in addition to being enrolled in the VPP. So every time, like, there's some different programs that I'll more than likely look at. We've been on this month-to-month from the Tesla Energy program, and it hasn't been fruitful. So I might go into more of a different plan, but I just want to be able to control my power walls, and that is the only question. No matter what plan I engage in, it doesn't feel like I'm going to have control over, you know, whether or not my power walls power my house at certain times of the day. I don't know. This is just me ranting and thinking. I need to always keep an eye on Tesla Energy because it is fairly new, right? And they're always learning. They're always, you know, having different promotions and things. So just gotta keep an eye on it. If you're in if you're in Texas in general, and you have your own domicile, your homestead, if you will, and you own a Tesla, you probably would want to think about powering that thing by the sun here in the great state of Texas. Now, solar's not perfect. It's not, you know, absolutely the bee's knees, but I guarantee you, I can count on my hand how many times a neighbor has come to my house and requesting use of our energy as power is out on the block. So there's something to be said about that. Not only supporting the grid, but supporting your community in tough times. It's almost priceless. Like, it's almost priceless. We'll see. All right. What will we look like here? I think we're still about 20 minutes out from our destination. It's a good way to get down there into the inner loop. Much love for anybody that's actually watching these videos. Find it interesting that a vehicle is able to transport me to and fro with very little effort. My content varies from FSD drives. This is what gives me confidence to be all in on Tesla, to watching financial news media react to various different catalysts in the market, how they feel about Tesla. The wide-ranging views on Tesla has always captivated me ever since I bought my first share. You know, there's some people that believe Tesla's worth $30. There's some people that believe Tesla's worth $3,000. Obviously, I'm somewhere in the middle, but the potentiality, right? What Tesla's worth now, it doesn't really mean a whole lot to me. What is it worth right this second? I'm more concerned about what is it worth in 2035. You know, in 2035, I'll be over 50 years old. What does that do for me? What does owning hundreds of Tesla shares do for me? Thousands of Tesla shares. That'd be a wonderful world, right? Thousands of Tesla shares. What does that do for me in 2035? You know, I never see myself, I mean, I probably got a few more car purchases in me before this is all said and done. I don't see me purchasing any other car that isn't associated with Tesla in some way, shape, or form. You know, it's going to be interesting. This next decade is going to be quite the ride, and I'm on board for it. We live in interesting times indeed. I don't know if that's negative or positive, but I'm here for it. is pretty strong right now, kind of whipping the car back and forth. I'd say we're maintaining lane integrity pretty decent despite the fact that the wind is crazy right now. To the left. Ooh, we got in where we fitted in. I like that. We're headed further to the left. Okay. Seems like we're getting some congestion as some of these vehicles plan to exit 610. Maybe they're headed to North Post Oak as well, but more than likely, that seems like a line for 610. We are not headed in that general direction. So our AI student driver has gotten to the far left lane. And I appreciate him for doing that. Not the far left. No, you get what I'm saying. There was a moment there where the wind was whipping and kind of rocking your boy to sleep here, but no, don't worry, I'm awake. I didn't have any coffee this morning, which is probably wasn't the best idea, but nothing to keep me awake like a little homework for our AI student driver. So in about 2.5 miles, we plan to exit North Durham. Pretty much inside the 610 loop once we do that. get to 728 Tirrell Street, and depending on the angle that we approach it, hopefully we hit it on the first try going in the proper direction so that we can make that left turn, just to see how our student driver performs. It's hit or miss. Like, I've seen it do it well. I've seen it also pause. Just want to get more data, and who knows, in future iterations of the software that won't even be an issue anymore. So, but just want to document it, see how well it does, and then we'll move on to some of the other troublesome areas of the 610 inner loop. With us potentially exiting in about 1.5 miles, we've made our way back over here to the right. There seems to be some mild congestion as well. Love seeing fresh Teslas. Paper plates. Alright, 69 South 45. Major accident. Hopefully we don't get swung up in that. That's the plan. To eventually reduce these accidents that occur daily on these roads, multiple times daily, you know what I mean? Disproportionate in these larger cities. You just, I sit here in this vehicle experiencing this technology, knowing that I won't hit another vehicle will more than likely have to hit me to involve me in an accident. These are the type of technologies that are going to prevent people from getting injured or, in worst case scenarios, killed. So I can't wait until this is adopted on a mass scale, whether it be by Tesla or anybody. You know, I think Tesla's going to do it, mainly because I've experienced their products, and you know, they've got one of the greatest entrepreneurs at the head of their company. Knows talent, sees talent. No nonsense. Best part is no part. You know, best process, no process. For, you know, as far as automotive companies go, I don't think anybody's spending this much on artificial intelligence, and it's going to prove invaluable. So I can't wait. And the more we're out here, the more confidence that is instilled in me. Competition, I'd love to see some. It would, just like DeepSeek is going to put a fire under the ass of all these technological giants, you know, usefulness, all this other stuff, capabilities. So too with competition from the Mustang Mach-E or fucking the Chevy Equinox. You know, if they were viable technologically, it would put a fire under Tesla, make them, you know, Tesla's so busy trying to disrupt themselves that they can't even think about a competitor, because no other competitor is of a like mind, whether it be in this industry or the next, right? The automotive industry outpaced them. The energy side, you know, Tesla may not be the best when it comes to stationary batteries, but they're gonna have such an ecosystem where, to me, it was the only option. I have a Tesla vehicle. I want Tesla Powerwalls. I want Tesla to put the solar on my roof. I have a connection with this company that whatever they decide to do, I'm going to look to them first, right? And even if I shop around, I'm not going to get that same customer service experience that I would if I were just utilizing Tesla. So Tesla's doing autonomous driving, right? Any other players in this game don't have the manufacturing prowess. You know, they're not utilizing the same sensor suite. Tesla's outperforming them, and it's less expensive. That sounds kind of like DeepSeek, right? I don't know enough about DeepSeek to make these accusations or claims, but you know, that's what has the market in a tizzy right now. Is, you know, how much further ahead are they, despite an embargo on chips, which we know they're getting these NVIDIA chips, they're getting them, but the embargo is you know, is in place. Yet they're still able to not only match us when it comes to, you know, developing artificial intelligence, but in some ways exceed us. You know, that's how I feel when Tesla is able to show me what our AI student driver can and can't do. So we got some weird lanes here down in the inner loop, which is always problematic. So this is the school that we always tend to go inside, depending on our navigation, but we don't need to go left, which would apparently be from the bottom there. I don't know, something about the navigation wanted us to follow the routes from the school. Either way, we're not headed there. I think we're on the right path to hit 728 Tirrell Street, which is exactly what we want to do. We are about 2 minutes out. Let's see how we perform. Paying extra attention to signs. We were in the previous homeworks. Oh, see, now we had avoided this right here, but I guess maybe the inference is that, you know, if we're gonna get in line, we need to be here. But for some reason, this is not supposed to be driven. I don't know if this is old lane lines. They seem pretty thick and vibrant. You know, I don't know. But all the other vehicles are doing it too. It's tough to judge it, but when there weren't as many vehicles in the lane as we were about to turn left, which now makes me believe that we are not going to hit 728 Tirrell in a way that we need to try to test that left turn. So we're going to manufacture. That's the only thing we're going to manufacture, is we're going to turn around, make sure that we engage so that we can hit 728, and then we'll hit our other points of destination here in the inner 610 loop. Yeah, something tells me it's probably about the merging of the vehicles that need and want to turn left. And so we've stopped, done the right thing. My only concern is that vehicles might expect us to also follow suit and run a red light, and hopefully they don't hit us because of it. It really just depends on whether or not they're paying attention or not. So we have a left on green arrow only. So let's see how our AI student driver does it now that it's at the front of the line. Boy, this light is crazy, ain't it? All right, we got our green arrow. We proceed. So we're not going to just, we already know what we need to do to hit the trouble area. So we're not, I'm going to disengage here, keep straight, and we're going to loop around. Might as well just go ahead and knock it out right now. Go get rid of that. So now we're going to do what we want to do. Perfect. All right. I was actually going to let it go. Oh, you know. You live, you learn, and you get loves, ladies and gents. So that's a disengagement that really isn't, you know, it's preference. We want to try to hit it at a different angle. That car ran a light, it looks like, and our truck in front maybe missed the light. So there's some construction here going on. I don't want to speculate, but that truck looked like it wanted to go and then wasn't able to go. So we got a left turn yield, but I guess those cars weren't moving. Oof. Why are they so close? Is it because of the other vehicle? Mercy. Allen Parkway is no joke. Got the light. We proceed. All right, now we got the left turn. That is what we need to check. So how do we perform? There doesn't seem to be a lot of oncoming traffic, and I think that's what we've learned is if there's oncoming traffic, our AI student driver hesitates a little too much, but you know, it hit this pretty easy, you know, and that's what we want to see. Let's see how we park. And we've reached our destination. All right, we've plugged in the beer can house and never been there before, so I don't know what to expect, but it was recommended by Grok, and that's where we're headed. So without further ado, let's get to it. All right, so yeah. We got there. We had a planned disengagement as we were gonna turn left at this particular turn. Our AI student driver figured that it'd be easier to get to our destination on Tirrell via this way, which would have been 0 disengagements. But we wanted to test that long left turn that typically pauses if there's oncoming traffic. I wish we would have had some oncoming traffic to really get an idea, but we didn't, and our AI student driver performed admirably. So technically that is a 0 disengagement drive as we see the longhorns on that. I want to say it's a Bronco. But yeah, that's the type of stuff you see here in Southeast Texas. along with some other unique automobile design choices. That's all I'm about to say on that matter, you know, swangers and foes and whatnot. But it's always a car show if you're driving around Houston at a certain time period. So we've changed out the camera. Hopefully that's going to be okay. And we've got the other camera charging as we try to hit some of these other destinations. So Beer Can House, that's what we're up next. Hopefully we can go through these intersections as Grok has designed for us. We're just gonna make it happen, Captain. So we're gonna make this right here on South Shepherd. And are we getting up? Are we staying down? Looks like we're staying down. Might be crossing an intersection, so we're already traversing an area that I'm not extremely familiar with, so the spidey sense is tingling. So there's no left turn. Ooh, I don't understand that. So there's no left turn here. It looks like we're not planning to make a left turn, so that's good. But yeah, this is what we're talking about with some of these old town intersections where overpasses have been built. This isn't cookie cutter, which is basically what Courtney is informing the Tesla, not only the community but the AI team as well. There's a lot of things down here that, you know, even humans, like there's a lot of this I don't even get. But hopefully our AI student driver has enough wherewithal to manage this safely without endangering us and those around us. So let's see how it handles it. This is the first time I've been down here, so I'm just keeping aware. All right, we got the green light. And we are navigating this about as good as I could. All right, we're looking at all these signs. Got a red light right here. Technically, we're supposed to go left after this light. Let's see how we do. This is going to be intriguing, to say the least. So we'll be turning left on Memorial. And we got the green light, so let's pay extra attention to make sure we can make this left turn. And we do. There's no U-turns. That's I can see how that would be problematic on any other version outside of 13. That's a very convoluted intersection with, you know, some quick decisions that need to be made, and our AI student driver handles them pretty good. So now with Grok's assistance, I think that might have been a corner case of Corton that we were able to navigate. Yay! Thank you, Grok. All right, so we still got some no U-turn signs letting us know that there's a stoplight ahead. All right. Our AI student driver is navigating this really nicely. So with our new situation, we're also going to be judging how our AI student drivers handles those last 100 feet as well. Now we've got construction that, as we're being approached by a vehicle from the future. Now they want our AI student driver to just pass them. Let's see what happens, right? So he's waving us on. I did not hit the accelerator, although I'm able to interpret what this guy wanted faster than our AI student driver. He's working. He don't give a shit that I'm in an AI-driven vehicle. He expects me to respond to his subtle gestures, which I don't know. I don't think our AI student driver did, but it understood enough that it was, you know, capable of bypassing that vehicle that was jutted out. So I'd say kudos, big marks for our AI student driver in that scenario. So this is supposed to be the beer can house. It is the beer can house. Look at that. And we have parked right here, where if we were in a ride hail situation, we would be, you know, dropped off right here. I've never been to the beer can house. That is an interesting, open to the public Wednesday through Sunday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Might have to go back there. All right, now that we've gone to the beer can house, seen what it had to offer, utilized some of the intersections that I think we had missed on our first 2 homework assignments, let's head to the Central Market on West Alabama Street and see what we have in store here. So let's get to it. I mean, we've had one disengagement. It was forced on our part just to make sure that we hit that left turn from Allen Parkway to Tirrell Street properly. We hit it. It obviously is a unique left-hand turn. Our AI student driver seemed to, oh, there we go. We hit the curb, and that is an issue. We definitely hit the curb there, but I think that truck might have prevented us from making the proper angle there. I don't know the damage to that tire yet, but we will see when we get to the house. That is something worth noting. These turns over here are pretty steep, so our AI student driver is kind of cautious. Object in path detected. It wants us to take over to proceed. All right, so this right back here, this is tough. All right, so we hit a curb back here on these roads, and our AI student driver did not want to proceed. I think it thought it might hit another curb or fall into a ditch. So it saw something. We're definitely coming back to try to hit this. If I have to fuck up that rear wheel, we're gonna do this as many times as we possibly can. So we had a disengagement. That's legitimate right there. Our AI student driver, these roads, these corners, they're very tight back here. Rightfully so. There was no object in our path, but the way we had cut that corner initially, mainly that truck had come out of, like, in its field of vision, which may have prevented it from wanting to make a wider left turn. And so we had clipped the curb there. I don't think it was terrible, but it's noticeable, right? So, and then as we were trying to make another right turn, we got into a situation where we were making another tight turn, and our AI student driver didn't feel comfortable proceeding, which it probably could have. I don't think it was in danger of falling in a ditch or anything, but you could tell it was significantly uncomfortable. All right, so we're gonna make this right turn. We're gonna make this unprotected left, essentially. I guess that's why we have the thing, the map the way it is, right? All right, so we had one forced disengagement error, as I was about to articulate, and then we actually hit a curb and kept it moving, and then we had to make another sharp right turn where our AI student driver wanted us to take over, as it said there was an object in the path, but something about the turning radius is what I think caused the disengagement, where it didn't feel like it could proceed without, one, maybe curb checking again, which there is a lack of curb, to where you might easily fall into a ditch, maybe. I don't know. But the beer can house was beautiful. We will be going back, simply because I'd never been there before, and it's only open on Wednesday through Sunday. So yeah, we'll check the tape and we'll be headed back there. Plus, we're going to be doing more of these testings with the destinations recommended by Grok, which have already proved invaluable as we're hitting some of these tough intersections. Speaking of which, we're turning right up here, following these vehicles. We have the red light. Turning right on this red. We got the green arrow now, so we're good to go. But yeah, those are our, we have one. That's one situation. Basically those two sharp right turns coming out of the beer can house. We'll assess the damage, but I mean, this is Stygian's purpose. A curb check here, curb check there, having to buy a tire here, everywhere, curb check, curb check. Old Stygian is here to play FSD games for sure. I hope you guys enjoyed that little ditty. I've made it up on the spot. Curb, there's rims out there. Everybody curb checking today. So right now, we're still feeling pretty good that our AI student driver, with the assistance of Grok, is being able to tackle some of these areas in the 610 inner loop that Court Corden had pointed out. I'm feeling like we're better prepared today thanks to Grok, and despite a little bit of a curb check and a disengagement for another sharp right turn after the curb check, seems to be a success. Seems to be doing pretty good. Forward to navigating that area yet again, just to see how it performs. We have a jaywalker. All right. Before we get to the Central Market, it's going to be about 7 minutes out. We will be taking a right on San Felipe Street, which was part of the problem areas from our good friend here in Houston, Court Corden, San Felipe, and 610, as a matter of fact. But I don't think we're going to cross 610. I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't traverse this area very often. This is kind of new for me, despite this being my city. Houston is a big place, ladies and gentlemen. A very large place. Nice silver metallic Tesla there. Look like a Model 3. Make that right-hand turn. No worse for wear. No curb checking. We're gonna take a left here on Willowick Road in about a mile or so. This looks like a nice park. Probably part of a school, maybe? I don't know. But it looks nice. So we're going slightly above the speed limit. I have the electronic monitor there. And we've been on chill this entire time, ladies and gents. I think chill is my setting. Maybe if I'm in a rush, I'll put it on hurry mode or standard or something like that. But I love me some chill. That's probably not a popular take either. Chill mode's awesome. So where we're headed, it wasn't necessarily a problem area. It is something that was spit out, I think, on accident by Grok. He mistaked Tirrell for work trail. And, you know, and gave us a particular destination, the Central Market on West Alabama Street. And I was like, you know what? It'd be a good addition. If anything, just testing the last 100 feet of the software. And you know, going in different places that we wouldn't normally go in the first place. So I was like, why not? We'll just keep it there. So this was basically a new part. We have a left turn yield on green, which probably is for the best. Would have caused some havoc if we'd have tried to squeeze on into that spot there. Doesn't look like gas is as cheap as it was. It says $3.79 with diesel being $4.99. Yeah, that is a lot more expensive here in the heart of Houston, Texas. So we got this left turn coming up. We do not hit that median, which is awesome. There's potholes everywhere. I think our AI student driver handles that admirably. I don't know what that was, but we're here for it. The roads over here are god awful, but you know, I guess that is what it is. Eventually they will replace these roads, causing much more havoc to the surrounding area when these become modified. So I think you gotta fix the roads, but every time they do, it causes more heartache and headache in the interim. But we'll see. We've got the Central Market about a minute away. Let's see how we do as far as the last 100 feet goes. That is, to me, that is something that I think the AI team has been working diligently on, and mapping and all these other different complex scenarios from city to city, state to state, and eventually country to country, right? They're just going to be so dynamic. And I gotta say, version 13 has been better than version 12, but it's still problematic. But again, it's been worse. How about that? It's been worse. And this drive so far has been absolutely perfect. Nothing wrong with the last 100 feet so far as we traverse this homework area of the 610 inner loop. So that says something. Got a few more destinations. We'll see how it fares. So we're about to cross Westheimer to get to the Central Market. Oh, these roads are bad. Even that truck, it's just jarring. All right, we got the green. Looks like we're gonna try to turn in here. do. Oh, a little bit of the parking lot shenanigans going on. But this is a out only, and our AI student driver, good on you for not going down there, sir. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so we get into the right lane to traverse as we're trying to get to the Central Market. We're about 400 feet away. You know, if we're a ride hail, will it drop us off to the front door? If this is our personal vehicle, will it find a parking spot? When we're in the snowstorm, it definitely parked in a parking spot for Kroger. Loving it. To me, it doesn't matter which parking spot if it will come pick me up, right? It really doesn't matter to me. So what our AI student driver decides to do is up to it. That Mercedes might be a little pissed. That Mercedes is definitely pissed because we chose to stop right, impeding its progress as well. I don't know if it's thinking about a parking spot or not. But it's. I think we'll see what happens. I'm here for it. I think we're probably just gonna let our ride hail participant out. Yeah, that's what happens. All right, so we did get to Central Market easily. We got to the front door. Would have let us out if we were a ride hail participant. Not bad when it comes to the last 100 feet. You kind of got an idea that it might have wanted to park in the parking lot, but doesn't have any real direction from me, the user, at this stage of the game. Whether or not I could be like, park. You know, if I could hit the microphone and say, park, and it would just do the Autopark thing, that would be pretty fantastic. Or pull over. You know, some of these commands for it to understand what it should do when it reaches its destination. So we've got River Oak Shopping Center plugged in. Let's see how our AI student driver does. All right, so the car to the right of us is also leaving. Our AI student driver, I guess, weighed that and decided to pull out. I love this fucking software. It is amazing what it has been able to do over the past 2 years. It makes me want to buy as much Tesla stock as I possibly can without thinking about any money that I need for the foreseeable future. So, all right, so now we are done with the parking lot shenanigans. We're here to make a right turn, and our AI student driver, it was kind of confusing back there. You saw some different ways that it probably could have went, and our AI student driver is able to exit the Central Market parking lot with ease. So now we are headed to the River Oak Shopping Center, which is about 9 minutes away. And we might hit another intersection, at least according to Grok. If not, we're just going from point to point, seeing how our AI student driver navigates these. As you can see, they're working on various different things, whether it be the streets or the parking lots, or the parking, whatever. We get the green arrow. Our AI student driver is making this right, hugging it as good as it could. You know, I thought it was going to try to, you know, steer away from it a little bit more, but I'm fine with it. It didn't hit that median divide, so good to go. Going back on San Felipe in about 0.2 miles or so. Man, it is effortless driving, considering you're not driving. I guess that's why it's effortless, is because the mental task of being able to, like, I don't traverse these roads often, if at all, you know, and there's so many different lane marking signs that you have to be constantly paying attention to. It's a wonder how humans do it at all. And we make our right turn, easy peasy. These streets are wildly, you know, just, it's weird how it's constructed back here. And to see it handle these uneven roads deftly, you know, it boggles the mind. And to think we're anxiously awaiting more updates from Tesla. Some of the OGs, I mean, it was just a week or two ago before they got 13.2.5, and now they got 13.2.5.1. They're pushing these updates with extreme frequency. Maybe not to the entire fleet, but the progress that each model is exhibiting, it's apparent, right? I don't need to get the update to know that they are vigorously working on various different ways that this software could perform. And then, you know, I was in a space the other day. Sometimes Tesla might just be trying things out, right? Seeing how the vehicles perform when asked to do this or that, as long as the situation is safe. I mean, they're just being able to play with millions of vehicles on the road and trying to fine tune and tweak things. No other company has that capability, period. So it just boggles me when people are like, well, Tesla's not even in the top 5 when it comes to autonomous driving. Are you fucking blind? That was actually a real comment underneath my comments in these videos. So it just like, I just like, cool story, bro. All right, so we got uneven road there, a little pothole action with water over it. Our AI student driver traverses it fairly decent. But yeah, comments like that make me smile and just hit the buy button, because that many people, you know, it's so many people just feel like Tesla is not close. And traversing these roads back here on my daily commutes, it's easy to be jaded. But back here in places that I don't traverse very often, it's when it becomes painfully apparent to me that I'd rather have the car drive this area than myself. I think Yosh would be in a similar boat, right? She doesn't drive back here very often. It would be easier, like, oh, I'm not familiar with this. Let's just let the car do it, right? That's her situation. Or, you know, she likes to engage it when Chewbacca's in the car, so she can kind of, you know, engage with him more. Not saying she's not paying attention to the road, but it does allow her to pay attention to the dog, right? Especially in certain scenarios and situations, she knows the car's not going to hit anything. It's going to obey the road rules, especially in foreign areas, better than she possibly could. It's getting there. Like, it's not there yet, because Tesla's never going to send wide anything that they're not comfortable with. There's a process that is being undertaken that has to be respected. Even though all of us want the updates fast, we want them as fast as the OG beta testers are getting them, but they've earned that right, ladies and gents. They are willing to put their vehicles at a higher risk than us when the software was shite. The software has come such a long way. Now that, you know, we get it, we are the consumer. There needs to be a level of, all right, we've got the spidey sense up a little bit. We're gonna let them go, I think. This vehicle is, you know, the way its trajectory is, it indicated that it wanted to pass this whatever vehicle thing it is. And our AI student driver was like, all right, it almost didn't let him in, but then it corrected itself to let it go. So I'm pretty sure that Lexus is grateful that we didn't trap it behind that meandering vehicle. We got people loading and unloading. These are the situations that I don't really get to experience on my day-to-day. So that entire stretch, the spidey senses might have been overloaded, because we don't experience that on our daily trek. So it's good to just see it in action. Our vehicle responding to, you know, just unique stimuli, right? it just gives us more confidence that the software is they're accomplishing something that's never been done before with just cameras and neural nets. It is flabbergasting, all the variability. So we got a left turn yield on green, and we do move, just making sure this Nissan is doing what is indicated. I don't think it even had its blinker on for a while. So I think our car is just absorbing tons of data, sending it through sending it through the gambit of what possibly could happen, right? And we are about a minute out from the River Oaks Shopping Center. I don't know if we hit any intersections or things that might have been problematic, but as you can tell, the randomness of driving, anything can happen. And how our AI student driver responds definitely gives me confidence. That looks like a pretty decent sushi place. I wonder if it's worth it, damn. We'll have to take a look in this River Oaks area. Maybe get some potential date nights, with the missus. I'm pretty sure if she's never been there, she might want to experience it. In my previous video, I've said sushi in Houston is hit or miss. You get a lot of fusion stuff but if you want authentic sushi, if you found your spot, you tend to not want to divulge that location because you want to get a table eventually. All right, so we're at the River Oaks Shopping Center. I mean, we didn't plug in any particular restaurant, but we are technically here. So that was easy enough. We're gonna park this right here and get our next destination. In the future, we might pick one of the, this is the River Oaks Shopping Center, but maybe we'll say J. Jill. We'll just get us to J. Jill or Joseph A. Bank or some shit like that. All right, now that we've got our destination plugged in, we are headed to Costco. I sound like Costco. Either way, we got it plugged in. Might as well check and see how our AI student driver does, so let's get to it. We've had one disengagement so far. That was an object in the road. It told us with the object detected, it needed our permission to proceed. So when we proceeded, we disengaged. We also had a curb check right before that disengagement. And we had a user disengagement, mainly because we wanted to have the right route to the left turn to Tirrell Street. So that's basically everything else has been ridiculously awesome. All the randomness of vehicle traffic, parking, construction. Our AI student driver has navigated it with extreme precision, and I'm grateful because I don't traverse this area very often. It has given me some confidence that I don't think I would ever have. Even if I became a pro back here, it is so random back in the 610 loop that I don't think you could ever really get any sense of security would definitely be false. And that's where the accidents occur, right? You get a false sense of security of understanding your surroundings, thinking, a little bit of hubris, and then something terrible happens. Hopefully not life-ending, but definitely gonna upend your week or so. But I gotta say, our AI student driver has been phenomenal. All right, we get our green light. We are approximately 15 minutes away from the Costco. Definitely might change out the camera if we're fortunate enough for it not to go out on us due to overheating or anything like that. But I think we got a couple more destinations, and then we'll head back to the crib. It's already 20 minutes to 11. Would like to get back before Dallas's space. There's a lot of information to be shared on X today, I am sure of it. And we have our, earnings. Tesla earnings are this week, Wednesday. I'd say the options market is favorable. There are more calls than puts in the options market as we slow down for this yellow light and stop for the red. I don't know if they're honking at me, but fuck them. I don't know. Maybe we could have went. I don't know. I like the fact that we don't run red lights. We got a green now. I mean, they turn pretty quick. Oh, we're getting on the Katy freeway, it looks like. So I don't know. Maybe we picked the wrong Costco. Either way, it's good. We'll come back through and see how it goes, maybe. So yeah, that's the first year-over-year decline of Tesla vehicle deliveries. In the process of this year, Tesla transitioned the Model 3 to the Highland. Definitely ramping up Cybertruck. Other factors may include understanding what they wanted to do with the Cybercab and the unboxed process. They've also mentioned some new affordable models. I don't expect these vehicles to be renditions of the Model 3 and Y in any way, shape, or form. I have a feeling they're going to be unique in their own vehicles. So they also said that those things will be not only unveiled, but it made it seem like they were going to send these things into vehicle production in the first half of 2025. So I haven't heard any factory announcements lately. Oh, wow. Hugging this side of the road is not ideal. I mean, they need to fix that portion of the street for damn sure. And we were hugging it pretty tight if I had to have a comfort issue. So looks like we're gonna hop on I-10 West to get to this Costco. Might save this for a later day. We're just going down the list. Maybe we plugged in a different Costco that our Grok advisor wanted us to do. But hey, you live, you learn, you get loves. So, and that also, in that stream of year-over-year vehicle delivery decline, we also have our energy division growing at a pace that I don't think is well respected on Wall Street. The demand for energy storage, that's not a fad, that's not going away. And Tesla's products and their software associated with those products are only going to improve over time, get cheaper over time, all the good stuff, right? So yeah, so we're gonna see some pretty decent margin for the amount of battery storage. I think that was acknowledged for Q4. Not to mention FSD. Looking forward to see how many miles, if they disclose that, how many miles are on the dock driven on FSD for the year of 2024. There's a lot to be excited about as we leave 2024 a year in decline and proceed. Some individuals think that Tesla will not hit 2 million vehicles again this year. Yeah, good luck with that one. But there's a lot to be excited about. Looking forward to the call. This should be a call about the future. It'll be the first call under President Trump. I have a feeling Elon is going to be upbeat. That's going to say a lot. Definitely ventured outside of the 610 loop to get to this Costco, which seemed closer, like the mirrors, right? Seemed closer than they would appear. So, but we're back on I-10 West, and the wind is whipping. Just making sure we keep our lane, we don't frighten any of these other vehicles around us. Almost as if we're headed back to Katy. We got some more stops, at least one more, I think, right? Oh, well, I don't know. We're still I'm paying attention, Car. I promise. All right, it's good now. Definitely ventured a little bit further than I would like to from the 610 loop. So we're probably going to call it once we get to Costco. I'd say it was a pretty good drive. You know, we'll modify this one tweak. But I'd say Grok did a pretty decent job. We got at least halfway through his list and experienced a lot of what Corcoran had wanted to show us. So again, more driving in the 610 loop area is on the horizon, especially as we get deeper into the AI student driver version, 13.2.5, 13.3.3, whatever is on the horizon, we will make sure that 610 inner loop is included. But yeah, we are way outside of the 610 loop area. And, by the time we get to Costco, it'll be about an hour away from Dallas's space, which I definitely want to tune into driving and listening to X, and then possibly participating on X, and I'm recording, and there's so many things that I got going on. I definitely I'd rather be in the comfort or not in stitching while listening to X until X, or better yet, until Stygian is capable of driving by itself without my supervision. I probably won't be on X spaces inside the car. Well, we're paused. Yeah, we just missed the Galleria as another option. Did pretty good. We got another request. Trader Joe's parking lots. One of my Navy buddies. He's curious to how our AI student driver navigates those makeshift Trader Joe's parking lots. So we'll give him a little bit of that too. All right, so we're taking a right here on this unnamed road. This is what I'm talking about. We got to get to these last 100 feet, and I'm not exactly certain if this is the best way to traverse. We got a double speed bump? What is going on here? Anyway, I'm not sure traversing the back alley of any location, considering the unloading loading process, is wise. Alright, what we got going on here? But I'm pretty sure our AI student driver is fine. traversing the back alley of indoor lumberyard. I don't. But we did get to Costco, right? That is for certain. And if you're in a ride-hail situation, pulling you up right here, probably not the most ideal. Our AI student driver better be making use of his hazards quite a bit when he's out giving rides. But we made it safe and sound, so yeah, we're gonna park this and switch out the camera and then, you know, see how the ride home goes. A lot of Teslas out here tonight. Let's do that one. Why not? All right, the San Felipe Westheimer one, I guess we'll do at a later date. We're just gonna plug in the Galleria to make that happen. And who knows if we'd even hit that properly, but I'm sure we would have if we were still in the 610 loop. So yeah, we're going to cut it a little bit short. We missed the San Felipe Westheimer, no, San Felipe 610 exit. We're gonna go to the Galleria and you know, see if we could traverse that properly. But we're gonna have to wait because I want to get back and make sure we get home so that we can, you know, see if the wife is up and about and catch Dallas's space. I mean, it's supposed to be terrific lady day here this Monday, but we got to be home to see what she's got planned. So let's get to it. Our AI student driver is exiting the parking space, hopefully. Looks like it. All right. As we head back to Katy, all in all, I'd say that this was a pretty successful venture, collaboration between Grok and Corton and myself. I'd say we encountered a lot of the intersections that might have been problematic in previous builds past, and definitely seen our vehicle cut some tight corners and then actually find itself in a situation where it probably needed a little more affirmation about how it traverses some of those residential tight corners over there by the beer can. All right, so we had like an oncoming car and a speed bump, which might have, let's just say, annoyed the other driver. But I'm not finna, even if I'm a human driver, I'm not about to explode across a speed bump just for your, you know, your comfort. Maybe our AI student driver could have waited until it was free, but I think I handled it just fine. So we're gonna hop back here on I-10 West after, ooh, okay, it was kind of questionable between that Mercedes and that Tesla as they ran that yellow light, but we stopped for the yellow light. We're not in any serious rush, so we hop back here on I-10 West. We head back to the crib, check on baby girl, and hopefully have some time to jump inside Dallas's space, where there's going to be so much knowledge dropped. And here we've got unleaded gas at 237. The further we get out from inside Houston, the cheaper the gas gets. When you're down there deep in the heart of the city, gas up there almost to $4. This will be a test, right? Can we hit I-10 West within the designated 400 feet? We've got our blinker on, letting vehicles know that that is our intention to get over to the left. So we'll see if we can actually manage that. If it was me driving, I mean, I would just hit the accelerator pedal and get there. But the goal is not for me to drive. And I'm about that life. We got the green light. We still beat everybody off the line. Our AI student driver is easily able to make this I-10 West. We had a Cybertruck behind us. That's pretty nice. Checking that at the rear view mirror, the side mirror there. Inside I-10. Looks like we're trying to make another left here. Wow, that car almost hit the divide. That would have been epic. That level of impatience, that's just... Darwinism at its finest. Tesla at now? Hovering around 400. Contemplating purchasing an option. I was hoping we dropped at 315. It would have made my decision a lot easier. Did I say 385? Down by another $15 from here. Sorry. I might be a little delirious. Anyway, this nonsense with DeepSeek, I was kind of hoping it would have impacted Tesla a little bit more harshly. Then I would have definitely known exactly what direction to take an option out. Whether it be a month from now, a week from now, whatever. So I'll make that decision. Hopefully before the close of the bell. We'll see where we're at. Earnings on Wednesday. Just placing a bet to see what the market thinks Tesla should be valued at. The lower Tesla is, the easier my decision is for call. If we were still high around 430, 440, puts would have been a little bit of an easier decision. not saying that Tesla isn't worth that. It's just that the markets value this company in strange, mysterious ways. And so that is going to tug, regardless, in one direction or another, what TSLA, you know, what the ticker is. So, yeah, I think, you know, how do you put a price tag on the most valuable company in a decade's time? I don't think you don't. You just buy when you can, and if you're feeling froggy and you want to make some bets, I mean, there's some leverage plays that you can do to incorporate TSLA, as obviously calls and options in general. The shorter term those options are, the more likely you have to be to judge the direction of the stock market. When you're placing leaps, you know, things that are a year plus out, there's a little room for error. Like, say today I buy a call for 2026 of December, right? That's essentially 2 years away. And Tesla tanks 60% between now and September. Like, that call is going to get wrecked, that leap. However, Tesla does something like it did around November this 2024, where it doubled, essentially, right? 100% growth from where it was, you know, it just doubled. Then that leap doesn't look nearly as bad. And then you have to ask yourself, you know, whether or not, you know, because obviously if it doesn't tank and you buy it at the tank, but there's no telling what TSLA is going to do. You just have to have a fair value price target, essentially, and decide whether or not Tesla's going to meet or beat that by the expiration. And by how much will determine how expensive that leap, that call, that put, whatever it is, should be. And I haven't really placed any leaps since Tesla was down in the 130s, 150s. I placed a few leaps in that general, like I was like, it's way too low, right? And that's when I will make those longer leaps, is when I know Tesla's too low. And I don't mind dropping $5,000 to prove people otherwise. And it served me well. Right now I can't say Tesla's too low, right? You know, if Tesla was sitting somewhere around $200 a share, I would be like, it's too low. If Tesla was sitting at $300 a share, I would probably just be buying a lot of stock. Considering Tesla is hovering around $400 a share, on red days I just buy with whatever I don't think I need in the next 3 months. Tesla would have to drop significantly for me to place another long leap at the price tag, especially not around earnings. The implied volatility is sick right now. So, who knows? Maybe sometime in the summer, depending on where TSLA is at, I might feel the need to purchase a leap that extends out to 2026, 2027. But I doubt it. I'm more than content with just buying a share or two here every other week or so. You know, depending on stock market actions. And that's just where I'm at right now. Just buying, holding, enjoying FSD. Of a mind that everybody on the road that isn't utilizing the software eventually will be. Like, it's like, you're not wearing a seatbelt, you're not wearing a seatbelt, you're not wearing a seatbelt, you're not wearing a seatbelt. That's what it feels like, right? You'd be like, why aren't they wearing seatbelts? Because there's no seatbelts in those cars. And that's what it'll be like. Why aren't you wearing your seatbelt? Why aren't you wearing your seatbelt? Eventually, the technology will be in those cars. This technology that Tesla is working so hard on, night, day, holidays, weekends, doing whatever they got to do to solve the enigma, which is driving, so that less and less people have to die on U.S. highways alone. And eventually, worldwide, you're talking about millions. So, that's what it's like. Whenever I look out from the driver's seat of a vehicle that is absolutely driving itself, safety paramount. Even if something were to hit me, I feel confident that I could walk away from it because I'm in the safest vehicle known to man, using the safest software known to man to drive not only city streets but on the highways. It's like somebody gave me the answers to the test, and the test is years away before anybody else is thinking about taking the test. I don't know. It's tough to explain. So while I still feel like Tesla is the best thing on four wheels, they're going to disrupt themselves by becoming an autonomous ride-hail company, right? And you can use these vehicles for whatever your little heart can think of. You know, these robots on wheels autonomously making you money. Well, I tell you, it kind of feels like I shouldn't be with the answers to the test this early. But here I am studying how this is going to work. Just experienced it in the 610 inner loop. Very, very good processing. I mean, that guy might have a seatbelt. That guy might have a seatbelt. I was just saying, not a lot of people with seatbelts on out here. Why do you support Tesla after Elon Musk went to the right? Shit doesn't matter to me. It's nonsense. It's a fucking magic trick. Trigger you into not understanding where the world is headed. And if you let yourself succumb to trolling or just emotional, it's tough when people, because to me that stuff is insignificant. It does not matter when Elon Musk is one man employing over hundreds of thousands of employees doing magnificent things in various different fields. All right, so this vehicle decided to exit prematurely, not prematurely, but last second. I don't know. Should our vehicle even been behind that vehicle? I don't know. But it's moments like that cause accidents, and humans are behind it every single day. Our AI student driver is able to recognize its trajectory and keep us safe. Notify the vehicles behind me early enough to maybe annoy the fuck out of them and get out of this lane. But this is what I'm talking about. I don't want to be in this lane either, but we're in chill mode. We should probably be in this lane over here. I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is. Maybe I should be in standard on the highway and chill on the city streets. But we're just chilling, to me, this lane is reserved for people that plan to exit. And if we don't plan to exit anytime soon, like within a mile, we shouldn't be in this lane. But again, that's just nitpicky, personal jargon, ridiculousness. All right, we've been on the road a long time. I'm just talking to myself. Yeah. We're gonna take Frontage in about a mile or so. There's just really been very little disengagements, very little issues at all. Exiting has just been absolutely superb on version 13. No complaints. Just somebody dancing on the side of the road. Odd. Anyway, we're back in Katy, where we just had a little adventure, going to the 1600 loop, taking some advice from Grok, and exposing ourselves to some potential problem areas that version 13 seems to be handling deftly. So we will continue our efforts in that area, different locations. Not only the intersections, but the last 100 feet seem to be what I would prioritize. And we're just gonna see how it goes. I'm glad you followed me on this journey. It's about as exciting as one man allowing his vehicle to drive for him can be. You know, there's some exciting moments, obviously, but most of this is just ABC driving, you know. Nothing alarming, nothing exceptional. And that's the way we like it, you know? That's exactly the way we want it to be. So smooth, in fact, this atmosphere, the clouds, the car is just gently urging me to go to sleep. It's kind of like when I would drive and my student driver, as a student driver, I would drive and my driving instructor would tell me to go to the next town over and just take a fucking nap. My license, whether or not I get my license is in this man's hand. Who am I to tell him not to go take a nap? So, all right, so we got this Tesla merging in, headed over there to the area of Asian Town. My wife is always excited to see Asians inside Teslas. He was definitely not using FSD. His maneuvers a little more sharp. Hyundai. Seeing a lot of Hyundai commercials, mainly because they are sponsoring a lot of the NFL games. But even when I'm like watching, I think the funniest one I was watching Peacock, the streaming service that is god awful, right? But a commercial comes on, and it's the Ioniq 5 commercial. And it's like, not your dad's EV. Oh, wait, that is your dad. And I'm like, corny, get the fuck out of here. And then it follows up with, my dad drives a Tesla. At least your dad is cool. Get the fuck out of here, Hyundai, with that nonsense. I think it's funny that they like to throw stones at the throne. But it is what it is. They all know who's the EV leader. But what they really don't know is that this isn't just the preferred car of Uber drivers. It's going to end up replacing them. Imagine, so you get an Uber and you're like, oh, good, a Tesla. But imagine if you're like, oh, good, a driverless Tesla. That's where we're headed, folks. Oh, good, a driverless Tesla. That's what's going to set us apart from any other auto manufacturer, because people will stop looking at us like an auto manufacturer in that sense. All right, we've got the green light. Our AI student driver handling any task that we throw at it, like willing to take it on at the very least, right? Didn't handle those sharp turns coming out of the the beer can, but we're gonna keep giving it a go. pretty soon we're going, we're going to do some summer road trips for sure. I don't know if we're going to go down to South Padre for, we might go for Yosh-chan's birthday maybe. But I want to conduct the entire drive on FSD. I mean, me personally, I'm willing to, we're going to take Chewbacca. Last time we went to South Padre, we didn't take Chewbacca. And it kind of had her feeling a certain type of way. But this time we'll take him. We'll be driving instead of flying. Because technically we won't be driving. I'll be behind the wheel. Unless they want to bestow us some unsupervised FSD type situation. But yeah, more than likely I'll be supervising our AI student driver as it takes us to South Padre. And who knows, maybe we can align it up with maybe a potential launches. There are more and more launches being conducted from SpaceX in that area. I'd love to just witness it, right? I've never been, I'm from Houston, NASA is what we do. The Space Center Houston, this is what we do. All right, so I've always been fascinated with space travel, and so fortunate that SpaceX is doing what it does. So if we can line up a trip to South Padre with a launch, might make some dedicated launch drives anyway. The goal is to just use our AI student driver in all situations, various different regions. When it's engaged, I feel the utmost safety when I'm on the road. So I just want more and more people to be aware of that. That's why we do the videos. That's why we're out here. I didn't need to go to this 610 inner loop, but a lot of people do. And if you're in a Tesla, one, you're safe, but if you're in a Tesla with FSD, some of those anxiety issues will be alleviated as well. I love this car. I love Tesla vehicles. I love FSD. And we're, point A to point B to point C to point D to point E, from point E all the way back to point A. We had very, very little concern, a mild intervention, and no worries. So there's not a whole lot more I can say. We got the green light. That seemed like that vehicle definitely ran a red light, but it's okay because he's human. Anyway, that's all I've got for you today. Be easy. Peace.